Today we'll be checking back in with Ethereum, performing some technical analysis and making some predictions on where we can expect to see Ethereum's Ether coin go in the near future. Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video. Today we're checking back in with Ethereum's Ether coin. It is one of the main coins people have got their eye on at the moment and probably one of the first coins we will see some recovery in when the crypto market starts to pick back up once again. So I want to check back in with it, performing our usual technical analysis with some indicators including MACD, RSI, moving averages, patterns, all that good stuff, and try and make some predictions to see where we will end up in the next few weeks. But before we get into all that good stuff, guys, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video. And of course, if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'd also love to know your thoughts on Ethereum and Ether coin down in the comments section below. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into today's video. Welcome into the Ethereum chart, guys. If you're looking to buy Ether or any other cryptos, there are a couple of links down in the description of today's video where you can also earn yourself $10 worth of free Bitcoin. But let's take a look at Ether. And as you can see, it is one of those coins at the moment which looks like it is bouncing, which is obviously fantastic news when it comes to the overall crypto space. It's currently sitting at $4,295 right there, but unfortunately, as we discussed in our last video, the nice little channel that had formed has now been broken. So the channel was basically looking a bit like this. Let me just grab those, chuck them back in. The channel was looking like this, nice beautiful upwards channel we had going here, and unfortunately, as we all know, it broke through that and plummeted. And you can see really right there, just after it broke that point on the 16th of November, it really dropped. And we got to a low so far of 3,930. So we actually dipped below that $4,000 mark, which is quite interesting. And if you do recall in my previous video, I did mention that just below that at about 3,975 odd, which is or 3,060 odd, right about there is a nice little point of support for us, and exactly what we expected to happen did occur. We bounced off that point and we started trending back upwards. It looked like we were going to come back and touch that point once again, but that was not the case. It consolidated a bit more and started moving upwards. One pattern that I have noted is a reverse flag pattern could be occurring right now. So let's take the peak here, take it all the way to the bottom for this flag, and then basically we can see almost a flag pattern forming in this sort of a direction. Now, you'd think a flag pattern's a great sign, but when we're talking in, I suppose, a different direction, not so good. So interpret that as you will. At this point in time, it could also be the new establishment of an uptrend as well, as we've had here in previous situations. But to be seen at this point in time, as long as we maintain this bottom line right here, we should keep trending in the right direction. Another way to look at that is you could be taking it from this perspective. So let's just grab that, get rid of this flagpole, and you can see that almost a bit of a triangle shaped pattern is coming into effect. And in my opinion, this is probably more the likely pattern that is forming. And what we're going to see right here is basically a break either upwards or downwards in the next few days at the apex of this triangle. So one thing to note as well is we're seeing volume, and you know what? Some of the red volume actually is quite large. We are seeing a bit of a sell-off occur, and I think a lot of people are panicking, taking their money out of Ethereum potentially, thinking it could drop. It did drop below 4,000 US dollars per Ethereum. So to be honest, I'm not surprised that people have panicked and sold out, but it has bounced. But as I say, to be seen. What we're seeing here is the consolidation occur. We're either going to break upwards or downwards. Now, obviously, we want to break upwards. If we break downwards, we're going back to this key support point here. If we then break upwards instead, we can probably easily put in place another point where we're probably going to get to, and I'd suggest you're probably looking at about 4,500, the point to break to and move to, just due to the fact that there is quite a bit of price action here and we're bouncing off these sort of levels on a relatively frequent occasion when we were starting to trend downwards. So overall, not too bad from that perspective. Now let's bring in a few more indicators in order to help us. Let's bring in, of course, our favorite moving averages. Right now I'm going to bring in, to be honest, just the 20-day and the 50-day at this point in time. I'm not going to be bringing in the 200-day moving average that I typically bring in as well, because I think these are the most important ones at the moment. The key thing to note on these ones is that we have the 20-day and the 50-day moving average moving closer and closer together. What we don't want to see is this 20-day moving average crossing below the 50-day moving average, sorry. That's going to indicate that basically we are changing overall direction. Now, given that we are seeing a bit of indecision here with the price action occurring, if we do have a spike up, we'll avoid that sort of scenario. If we break downwards though, which is absolutely a possibility, we could potentially see a decline in the 20-day moving average quite quickly, and then that would unfortunately result in a crossover of that 50-day moving average. Overall, that would not be good for us at this point in time. Let's have a look at the MACD now as well. There you go, we've actually been red for this entire period. This is showing us the opposite. So that's the key to looking at all these indicators. You've got to look at more than one to help you identify what's going to occur. Obviously, we had our cross on the 11th of November with the 12-day EMA crossing below the 26-day EMA, but it looks like that 12-day EMA is, if you can't see that, it's just here flattening out a bit, and it could be turning upwards potentially and going through that 26-day EMA. If we see that, I'd say for Ethereum, that is a very, very reliable indicator to indicate that we're going to change direction. You can see 11th of November is where we change direction, start going downwards, and that's when a cross occurred. At the start of the run, 1st of October, once we saw the 12-day cross above the 26-day, that is where we saw the run begin. So a very, very reliable indicator. Just one more example, another cross here, 7th of September, bang, we've gone down and started trending downwards for a period. It is extremely reliable when it comes to Ethereum. So check that MACD, watch for the cross to occur, because we could be in for another run like we had previously if we see that 12-day EMA cross above the 26-day. Finally, let's look at the RSI. I don't think this is going to be looking too shabby. As we say, it's sitting at 49.31, smack bang in the middle. This basically means we could go up or we could go down. There is no clear direction from the RSI. So either way, we're going to be moving, and we're going to move in a direction, and I think it's going to be hard and fast. So I think it's going to be explosive either downwards, and we're going to break this support level here at about 3,960, or it's going to be explosive upwards, and we're going to smash that one at 4,570. But overall now still sitting at 4,296. Obviously my target for today's video is going to be smash this line right here, which is effectively right now today at sitting 4,366. That's the top end of our resistance of this triangle form that has come to play. Stay above the 50-day moving average, which is now acting as support, and hopefully break through the 20-day moving average and move towards that key point of resistance at 4,565. That is the ultimate target for us within the next couple of weeks, but obviously we've got one step here and another step here to get through first. That's going to wrap up the analysis for today, guys. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Do you think Ethereum is going to reverse and go back to its upwards trajectory, or is it going to continue in a downward spiral? I'd love to know your thoughts. Of course, I want it to go up, and I'm sure everyone else who is investing in Ethereum and holds it wants it to go up as well. But I really think at this point in time, a lot of coins are going to be driven by just the overall sentiment in the crypto space. But of course, let me know your thoughts down below. If you did enjoy today's analysis, make sure you leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe. We cover crypto, stocks, investing and wealth management. But I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.